Welcome back. Today we are going to be taking a look at ScaleTrains' newest rivet counter N-scale locomotive. This is their first 4-axle locomotive in N-scale. If the box wasn't a dead giveaway, we will be looking at the EMD GP30. The GP30 that we will be looking at today is of the CSX flavor, specifically the CSX's RDMT road slug units. This one is in the infamous CSX stealth scheme, and we have road number 2225. As usual, there's really nothing new to say about ScaleTrains' attention to detail. There are details abound on this unit. The molded door latches, the trucks are amazing. I mean, everything's great. I don't know how close we'll be able to get here. I got a little pointer. All right, let's start at the front, I guess, yeah? So, focus. I mean, obviously you got the grab irons that are separately applied here. We got our 3-chime horn up here, which is accurate for the CSX units. High headlight, that sand filler hatch, I believe. On the very nose of the unit, you've got the individual air or MU hoses. This locomotive has ScaleTrains' newer microtrains style coupler with the magnetic trip pin down there. We can see the chain across the front walkway on the handrails there. You can see the MU receptacle up top. The trip levers separately, they've got a little separately applied step down there. Grab irons on the sides. And of course the windshield wipers are, I believe, separately applied there. Beautiful number boards up there. I believe they sit behind a plastic. They do. They sit behind a plastic covering on the number boards there. I mentioned, I believe, the horn already. You got the wind deflectors on either side of the windows here. Sun visor. You got some louvers here. I believe that's where the heater is on these units, right in front of the engineer's feet. The molded in latches look absolutely exceptional. The hinges, the trucks down here, they have just so much detail. Really quite impressive. And from what I can tell, they got that blue color for the CSX almost spot on there as usual. Moving on down. So you can actually see it. We'll go out to the trucks real quick here. If it'll focus on them. You got the wire here. I believe that's the axle speed recorder. You got the sanding hose here. We've got the fuel gauge, emergency fuel shutoff, fuel filler cap. On the back here, we got a warning label. Oh, I'm way off. Warning label on the door there. Another windshield wiper on that back window. You can see from this angle here all of these rivets around the outside of the door. That's absolutely phenomenal. Even the ones up on the top of the unit here. Absolutely just beautiful. You can see all that. Vents here. I'm blanking on what this vent is. Dynamic brake intake, perhaps. I can't believe I'm blanking on that. But, oh, that's the traction motor blower vent, I believe, right there. Yeah. Moving on, there's really nothing to see on the sides of these units since they've been, all the doors have been taken off, welded shut. You can see the tread on the walkways is there. That's excellent. Radiator fan with the fan blades inside and the grid on top of it. There's the blanked out radiator fans. Ooh, focus on the thing right in front of you, buddy, camera. No? There we go. Sort of. Blanked out radiator fans. The grab iron here. That's another fuel filler hatch. This is the doors. Get you inside. I'm not exactly sure what's back there. Probably the compressor. These units had their own air compressors. These locomotives basically, or not locomotives, can't call them locomotives. These units were basically locomotives. The only thing they were really missing was the ability to drive themselves. They had traction motors, they had a fuel tank, a cab, and an air compressor. So they were basically locomotives. Had the same braking power as a pair of locomotives, about the same pulling power, tractive effort as a pair of locomotives, same fuel capacity as a pair of Jeeps. So I believe that's behind that door would be the air compressor. Coming on the back, no headlight on the back, as there was no need for a headlight, as this back end was always facing the rear of another Jeep, usually a GP40. Not sure if CSX had GP38 mother units, but it wouldn't surprise me. I do know they had GP40 mothers, or master units, whatever parlance you choose. Separately applied ladders, rungs, up to the top of the unit there. Back here we've got the more MU receptacles and the extra receptacles for the it being a slug unit. Trip pins. There is a molded on air hose along with and the other MU hoses there. Same coupler, trip pin on this side, and the other side of the unit's the same, or I believe it's the same. Flip it around here. I'll try not to short out the layout because I do have the layout on at the moment. So, same thing over here. A little gap in the cab there, but that's really no big deal to me anyway. I got the handbrake over there. Another battery box. Some piping here you can see on this side of the fuel tank. Back doors here again with louvers to vent the area. This side here, that would be your blower duct there from the traction motors. Got our latch up here with the warning label. See if I can focus on it so you can see what it says. No, I just want to focus on that finer detail. That's alright. But that's there. So, got the steps. Zoom in on the steps. Let's stay focused on the steps. There, look at that. Sorry, the video's kind of shaky. I'm doing this by hand. Steps look great. Everything looks great. Absolutely fantastic model. Really pleased to have this one in my collection. That's for sure. Let's get some sound going, and you can hear how it sounds. All right. As I mentioned earlier, the layout's already on. We got the locomotive turned back around so we can see what this locomotive has to offer. Try to get the camera straightened out here. All right, focus. There we go. I think that'll do. We'll start with a headlight. Seems like that would be the first best thing. Turn that on. Nice and bright. Works really well. Bell. There's that. Our horn. Let's see if we can get some movement in here. Gotta turn the sound on. I did discover these units do have a startup delay. Not sure why, because there's really no startup sound for these. The only sound is the traction motor, so there's not really a startup procedure for that. So we'll give it a little bit here to get through that, and then we'll show you some movement. All right, here we go. You can hear the traction motor sound there. Some braking. I don't like how it cuts off the braking sound so fast. You can just hear the spitter there. The number board lights come on when once you start moving the train. There's the compressor sound. I believe that runs for 10 or 15 seconds. Let's go back and get some more, hear the traction motors again once the compressor shuts off. There's the reverser, and let's go backwards. There's that obviously no prime mover sound, as this locomotive does not have a prime mover. Headlights come back on, go back forward. It's just a traction motor, which I think is really cool. I don't know how that's going to sound when we get another locomotive going with it. But really cool addition to the collection. So I guess it's the one sound I can't show you about these units, although I'd assume they're just as good and accurate as ScaleTrains is usually able to nail these sounds down pretty well. I was going to mention something, but I forgot, so we'll move on. Again, things that as long as I draw the things, pretty much everything I like. One thing so far that I didn't like was the brakes cut off. The sound just cuts off at the end. That's kind of a point off there. The horn, I feel, has much too long of a starting and ending. So if you try to blow multiple blasts through the horn in a row, it sounds very choppy, unfinished, unclean. So that's my only excuse me. That's my only thing with the horn. The bell. The bell sounds great. Can't really complain about that in any way, shape, or form. Headlight's nice and bright. It's not super white. It's not yellow like some of Atlas's new engines have been. It's that perfect soft white that I feel that it should be. I'm glad these have the new ScaleTrains couplers. If you saw my latest Tier 4 Gevo video, those retained the old couplers. Why, I'm not sure, but they did. But these have the new ones that work great, couple up with everything. Again, they're microtrain style. The level of detail on this, I mean, each time I see one of their locomotives, I see new stuff on it that just absolutely blows my mind that they were able to include it. Particularly on this one, the latches, the detail of the latches, and these vents on the front of the cab there. So another huge win from ScaleTrains here, their GP30s. So beautiful, beautiful models, knocked it out of the park. Let's try bringing in the a mother unit here and see how those go together. All right, for a mother unit, we have a CSX GP40. That's an Atlas model. So you do a quick comparison here between the ScaleTrains GP30 the ScaleTrains unit and the Atlas unit. Atlas has done really, really well with their models. So you can see the Atlas's blue and gray are a little darker. I think Atlas might be the one that's wrong. Not 100% certain. I don't know exactly all the shades, and I'm not an expert on the early CSX paint schemes, but these two units look absolutely great together. Ironically, both of these were purchased at the National N-Scale Convention in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania last summer. If you haven't checked out my video on that, be sure to do so. That's actually where these GP30s were announced. I believe the morning of or the day before that show, these GP30s were announced. CS Atlas, this is Atlas's new run of GP40s. They just released these last summer. So I picked up both. They make an absolutely excellent pair. We were going to look at sounds, see how the Atlas unit might be a little loud by default, so that might just ruin the whole thing. But let's take a look here. Stop yapping and take a look. Alright, I believe the Atlas unit here is, oh, nope, it's still going. Longer startup. Maybe it's good. Maybe it is good. I don't know. Alright, here we go. That's the headlight on that one. That headlight's, you can kind of see in the video here, and that color difference is accurate. That is kind of green. I don't know why, but this isn't a review of that. We're just going to look at the sounds here. Let's throttle up the GP40. Maybe. There you go. And we'll do the same on the slug there. I don't know how well you can hear it in the video, but from here, it seems that the sounds of these units, they gel perfectly. I can hear both exceptionally well. Neither one drowns out the other one. The slug might be a little loud prototypically. I never saw very many slugs, these slug units. Did see a few, but I don't really remember if they were that loud in real life or not. But I think for a model, I think it works perfectly. Now here we got the GP30 slug paired up with the GP40, and we're pulling a train of about 6, 8, 10, 15 or so cars. And they're running great. They're pulling good. Both of these units, I did a pulling test earlier just to compare them side by side, and they pull about the same. These new Atlas Jeeps and the ScaleTrains Jeeps, they pull about the same. Yes, the slug does run on its own. You can see that in the videos earlier if you didn't catch that. The slug does have its own motor. It does contribute to pulling just like a real slug does. and it pulls great. It can pull all of these, both of these units can pull these 15 cars on a flat grade decently. They struggle a little bit, but they can pull it. But going uphill, even the littlest bit, I noticed they did struggle, but they run great pulling this train. They look great, which is even more important, I think. Depends on who you are. But yeah. That's our GP30 there. The one thing that I have liked on some of these new Box Sound V5 models is the presence of flange squeal as a function option. But on these GP30s, that function has been swapped out with a Mars or gyro light, which is fine. There are some of the GP30s, I believe that they do have that as functionality, but these CSX units do not. So the F7 function doesn't do anything for these GP30s. But the GP40 that I do have behind it does still have the flange squeal, so I can still get some of that if I desire. I'll do one last run by here. Punch it right on the curve. So, well done, ScaleTrains, well done. I would absolutely rank these GP30s I guess a 8 or 9, 8.5 out of 10. We'll go with 9. We'll bump it up to a 9. Just that horn is a little rough for me, but other than that, I love it. I hope to see some more CSX family road names from ScaleTrains in the future in the form of GP30s. I look forward to that next run of those. And hopefully we'll see some GP40s from ScaleTrains as well that could be paired up with their GP30s. That's it for me for this round. ScaleTrains GP30s and the CSX Road Slugs. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, if you found the review helpful, be sure to like that video. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And if you want to see more reviews, I got a bunch more of those. Got a lot of new cars and locomotives on this table right now that we're going through doing videos. If you want to see more of that, more train show videos, and other miscellaneous stuff, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can see all my newest videos. Thanks again for watching. Niagara and Scaler, signing off.